Hi, Doc Martin. We are live. That's right. KRAZ TV, the adult side. Better be the adult side. This is a tremendous subject. Anyway, I've been mad or something at YouTube or something. Every time I go online, as soon as I get broadcast, it says off air, off air. Anyways, I change things around and maybe this works. Our new book today is The First Conspiracy by Brad Meltzer and Josh Minsk. Probably butchered your name, sir. Sorry. Anyway, it's the secret plot to kill George Washington. It's a fascinating, fascinating story. Anyway, in the early George Washington took over and tried to occupy New York City, and so the governor went out and hung out in the bay with a warship. So he was on a government boat out there, but he started a spy network, and people would row out there, and he'd give them money. And then he got the mayor Matthews, David Matthews, to come out, and so they set up this idea that maybe they could kidnap or and try or even assassinate George Washington because he was setting an exemplary example. So eventually they figured it out, but it took them a while, and they had to make a counterintelligence. John Jay, the first Chief Justice, was on the committee a secret committee to figure out who these are. They also found out that his lifeguards, people like the Secret Service, they had compromised three of them. So they found out it was a lot of people had been vacillating back and forwards. And so they're trying to get the people to become royalists and all that and promising them the moon. Anyways, it was a fascinating story, but they finally did figure it out just in time. And it's an amazing story. I think it was Hickey was his name. Anyways, yeah. Uh, he was found out and they made an example out of him, and they tried him, had 10 officers seemed to be hung. And he was the very first public execution in American history. But just before they signed the Declaration of Independence, like days before, they actually had the public hearing. Then they signed the Declaration of Independence, and then the British landed with all their troops. They had thousands and thousands. They had the Hessians in. Uh, Amazing. But anyways, they occupied the city, and they never did. And Washington barely got away by the skin of his teeth. What teeth he did have. Anyways, they never did regain New York until afterwards. We got this book at the Tucson Pima County Public Library. We encourage you to read it because it is a part, and it is the very first, and it was a secret plot, and it was concocted by the royalist and the first colonial governor before the Revolution of New York, or I don't know if he's the first, but yeah. Anyway, it's a great book. Get this book at your library. Brad Meltzer and Josh Minsk, I want to thank you for making this book. Someday I hope to meet you great Americans. And you have told it. The more I read about George Washington, the more I liked him. He finally became convinced that slavery was not the answer, and he did, in his will, emancipate all of his slaves. Probably shouldn't have had them to begin with, but anyways, people make mistakes. We just hope that America's forgiven him too. Well, enough of my rant. A lot of stuff I say is not in this book, but do get this book, The First Conspiracy, The Secret Plot to Kill George Washington. Thanks for watching KRZ TV, and if you can, support us at KRZTV.com. Goodbye.